The impact of sexual violence on individuals can be profound and long-lasting, affecting every aspect of their lives, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and socially. Therefore, Center for Earth Development and Research has organized CASA Research Report on sexual violence in Ghana.
The President and Chief Executive Officer for Center for Health Development and Research, Cehdar, Dr. Jemima Dennis Ng, has called on all Ghanaians to come together and stop girls' sexual violence in the country. According to Dr. Dennis Ng, a survey was conducted in 11 out of the 16 regions in Ghana, and more than 5,000 women, including those with disabilities, were interviewed on sexual violence, and out of these 5,000 women, 1 out of 3 have been sexually abused. Dr. Jemima Dennis Ng, in an interview with Nation One TV News, said there are lots of work to be done when it comes to issues on sexual violence in this country, because most of these women lack knowledge when it comes to such issues and do not know the right steps to take when they become victims. Also speaking at the event was the rep from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. She stressed that there must be more education and awareness creation on sexual violence by people in authority and stakeholders.
The challenge is that social violence simply means someone forces or manipulates a person into a sexual activity without the person's consent. And what's caused them is that drinking alcohol and bad drugs. And effect is that they don't go to school at the end, they get pregnant at the end too. What I think that they should make it in practice, because some of them, because of having sex and getting married, their lives are destroyed. So I want to tell them that they should put it in practice. The young ones.
Sexual violence, very, very common. And now sexual violence, a man, Nemo my ma and they are on the doors. The name can say, a third beer, say, Obi, Yakasa, Obi, abusive pregnancy. Yeah, just a punishment. The name can say, I was saying, assess Nipana or yes, to do an assessment of people who abuse others. Because from where we sit, on mobile clinic, sometimes obeshano na say nipa ne bia ne mofrase o nyine no na ya de ayede ye no nti ono so is just is a friend, is a victim that is now becoming the abuser. So there's a need for us to really do an assessment, take proper history, and know why people are doing these things, and not just be interested in punishing people. I'm not saying people shouldn't be punished. In fact, we need to look at it holistically. It shouldn't just be we pushing the people through the law courts, but I'm saying that we should do a proper assessment of the situation. And then for the victims of sexual violence, a lot of times you're concentrating on the physical effects on that individual, but there are so many mental health impacts. Nipa na wakosa oya onimu no ofem oya onu betimi amane develop a low self-esteem. Nipa ne be a friend so timinya depression out of it. sɛ nipa no ɛyɛ depressed about out of it na sɛ onya amoa bi koraa so da bi a ɛtumi ba so wɔnku ne ho koraa na ɔmfiri wiase mu because I say n'anim agu ase the shame of being a victim and society doesn't help at all. So we need to bring these people to draw them to ourselves, show them some love and care, and let them go through the process. Most of the time, so yeah, we want to settle it out of court. But sexual violence, I mean, irrespective of the person's age, is a crime.
Sexual violence, na the person no, the person any yes maiwa the women and girls the person who imagine any na oma femu sexual violence the my person no ewo amensi and I say regions I work on ewo emudunsia ye femu dubaako ye no mo person the my to me emma ni maiwa ebro apem inum echire na enu omo ye mpensempesen mu no na sentia na ye nse ni pesi ye hu se so sa asemi anase sexual violence no eye ohaw bi a eso ewo Ghana na se so a edie na nkofo ti ase efa edie na ombe pese aban ebeye se eni sa asem no na yehu yensu ni se mpempi no nkofo enyim ko mbe fa so asasem to ma na yeso wo ye bebi wo mbe ko so wo ko so a eka ewo ho no wo mede no mbetua tema enne no yehia se eni mpanimfo a wo mo wo hu nimdie eni esukufo anesefo eni wo mo aye adwuma ewo sa eni yin friend UN bodies ehia se ekoye no asema yatini na so ye ben ni den tema ye bobo eho ni ehun se adwuma wo ho yie a se ye ni oboni friend policy agenda setting se ye ni eto aso ni edi nkomo no ni etutu ni ma ye se gofo pio a o makosa o ha o yi mu a o mu enya emwa enso o mu nya o matumi aye o mu adwuma na se o mu akoma brabo so nti na che se ye to aso na ye di nkita woso yi na eye mpensempesi nkofo ka se media mo so mu hia esese mo na mbobro de wuro ama asem no etene na efenso so mo ebeboa na motumi ama ne ekoso efa ne ma nkola ehwe ni se wo mo hwe mbeboa ama afutu etu abatan no mo ma wo ni ko mo ma ho ne ma ye be ye betumi a prevent sexual violence no em say media mo so mo wo dwumadie
My name is Daniel Kujadi. I work at the University of Ghana, specifically at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. This morning we started with issues around sexual violence against women and girls. But by the end of it, we actually have been discussing sexual and reproductive health, because you see that the issue goes beyond the narrow sexual violence against women and girls, because if you want to deal with it, you have to tackle the whole system. But we acknowledge, I think the main point we have acknowledged here is that because of traditional and cultural reasons, there is this subtle violence, especially against women and girls, that are sometimes taken for granted. And indeed, the women and girls themselves who are suffering, these violence, sometimes don't realize that, because they have been socialized to make it look like this is normal, but it is not normal. There are a lot of things that are going on, some sexual intimidation, which is affecting women and girls especially, but also gender in general. And I think this meetings like this is one way to try and put this on the agenda, just so that we drive home the point for policymakers to do something about this.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.